just in terms of overall percentages from the floor, both the three-point shot and the two-point shot. Earlier, namroblema tayo dun sa three-point shot nila eh. Pero natakpan naman natin yung butas na yun.
Correct. Lalong-lalo na yung kanilang gunner kanina. Talagang napakaganda ng kanyang ipinakita si Jay Sanok. Coaching, so far we've seen 20 minutes of action from Gilas Pilipinas. What do you like about the kind of game and of course the characteristic of this team? It seems like everybody, first of all, can handle the ball, and it looks like this is a team that's so versatile.
Yes, I was just talking to you a while ago. You can see the difference between how polished the skills of the Gilas team are compared to the skills of the Thai team. The Thai team, they have the size. They're very young, and I think they have a lot of potential. But you can really see the difference, no, in the smoothness of the movement of the Gilas national team.
Justin Baltasar working so hard inside against Gogar. 3 shots, and finally he makes one. That's the other thing. Although sumabaya ang Thailand in terms of rebounding, 21-20. We only had a 1 rebound advantage, but they committed 12 turnovers as against only 5 for the Philippines.
Yes, and that's brought about by the pressure that we put on them on defense.
There's a turnover as Juan Gomez de Leaño was already out of bounds when the ball went back to him. One of the few turnovers we've committed, as we mentioned. Only 5 in the first half. That's our first here in the third quarter.
And we're on full court press right here. As I said, it's going to be an easier task for our coaches now to spread the time and be able to keep these guys fresh even on a full court press.
Again, like we said kanina mga kaibigan, there's something for the Thais here, the Thais that they need to do. They have to play well enough that they can qualify for the four teams na may best third place record. No? So that's something that they will have to be very conscious about as we go on, even if this seems like a runaway game now for Gilas Pilipinas.
Yes, even those outside shots now are well challenged, and it's very difficult now for Thailand to get an open look.
That fast break kanina was brought to you by Enerton. May laban o wala, laging handa. Muangboon, another 13 first half points. Just an impressive debut for this young man from Ateneo. Thailand has not been able to really solve the defense. Finally, a runner inside for Chung Yam Pin. It is a 28-point lead.
You can also see now that the defense of Thailand is opening up. They're not as active as they were in the first quarter, actually.
Juan Gomez de Leaño stepping back for a 3. That is a tap short. Another offensive rebound. And a miss by Justin Baltasar. And it'll go back the other way. And remember, Justin Baltasar is not the biggest of players, in terms of his body, and yet he's been able to control the offensive glass and really provide a lot of problems for this Thai team.
Justin Baltasar may look lean, but he's a very strong
Very
kid.
strong.
Yeah. He's not a pushover.
Kapampangan.
Yes,
Kapampangan.
Kapampangan yan. Kaya sabi ko, very strong.
I know that he played for the Young Stars Basketball League in Pampanga when he was younger.
Yes.
Played for the NU Bulldogs. Then, of course, landed in college in the De La Salle University program. Won a championship, of course, with Coach Aldinayo. Together with when it was Ben Ambala who was the star of that particular squad. Couple of substitutions now checking in. Philippines in full command of this game. Started out very close noong pong first quarter, mga kaibigan. Just a 2-point lead to end that first quarter at 21-19, but then a big surge of energy as we take a little bit of a break here. We get a glimpse of the kind of protocol that they're also having in that bubble. No fans in the Bahrain bubble, as expected. And there are also no virtual fans.
Yes.
I'm sure if there was a virtual fan wall, that would be filled with Filipinos. The referee from Kuwait checking on what's going on, and the referee from Bahrain with 7:47. There is Coach Sachs. He has not changed his look from the very beginning. Parang galit na,
Parang galit eh.
na poker face.
Sabagay, kung ganyan kalaki lamang nakalaban mo. And
Pero ikaw naman, Coach, yung pag ganyan kalaki ang lamang mo, hindi ka naman nagmumukhang galit eh.
di ba?
Hindi.
Hindi halata.
Alright mga kaibigan, just a reminder, on Monday po, it's a holiday, November 30, we will have our back-to-back game. This is our second game, Gilas Pilipinas versus Thailand, live on One Sports and on One Sports Plus with a delayed telecast on TV5 at 11:30 p.m. of this game on Monday. Again, a reminder, we will have our second game here in the window of Gilas Pilipinas versus Thailand on Monday. That is a holiday, so we hope that you can all join us then. Ramos to Juan Gomez de Leaño. Now up against Lacan. Gomez de Leaño goes inside, draws the foul. Just a strong kid.
Yes, they're just waiting for the mismatch on the ball screen, and once they have the mismatch, they attack the mismatches. Actually, Juan, they're able to get a slower guy to guard him, so he attacked the basket right away.
If you're Coach Jong now, Coach Yang, what are the things, and of course Coach Tab, what are the things that you're trying to, with this big lead, no, what are the things that you're trying to see as the game progresses? Although alam natin, medyo malayo-layo na itong score na to.
Well, ang gagawin lang nila dyan is just fine-tune your execution, no? Both offense and defense. A while ago, we saw the national team that they will apply the trademark, that's a trademark zone press of Ateneo or of Coach Tab Baldwin, no? Yan yung trademark nila, and they've been able to do that and put pressure, force the turnovers, a lot of turnovers on Thailand. So you want those small things to happen and be able to capitalize on just fine-tuning the details. So ito talagang ano na to, yung details na lang, maliliit na bagay kailangan asikasuhin mo rito.
And of course, because of the lack of playing time, lack of games this team has had, no, because of the pandemic, you'd like to maximize your time on the court dahil this is the only time you're actually going to play against someone else.
Yes, actually, experience-wise, no, it's not like you know, you play in a league in the PBA, you get to play 11 games or more than 11 games, but here you're only going to play 2 games, so you want to maximize that experience for all your players, actually, since all of them are going to be useful anyway, and it does not really affect your quality of play once you put in your...
Again, drilling another 3. That we might see a JD Tungkab and perhaps Calvin Oftana coming into in the game number 2 of this home and away.
You know, I'm not really sure about that because, you know, in FIBA, the rules are once you submit the lineup, you have to finish with that lineup already. So I'm not really sure if JD Tungkab and Calvin Oftana are still going to play.
Parang they gave a special rule for this particular bubble. That's why we were able to bring a couple of additional players just to be able to shift some players.
Baka makita natin sa susunod.
Right. Oh, traveling violation. No, Sutsin will be fouled by Ray Suerte, and that'll send Sutsin to the line. One of the few players who's really able to penetrate and draw the foul inside. A very experienced player in Sutsin. Watana Sutsin. Thailand behind by 32. Again, we remind you that we will have a game on Monday, so stay tuned for that one, and that will come also 9 p.m. live Manila time. And that'll be our back-to-back games against this Thai team. There's a turnover forced against the Philippines.
You know what the Thai team is doing here also is doing some scouting for that game on Monday. So you don't want to be left too far behind because that's going to affect your confidence. But at the same time, you want to learn from this experience and be able to handle it better the next time.
Outside shot by Sutsin, no rebound, picked up by that's Chung Yang Pin, and then there's a whistle. The FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers is actually a qualifying tournament for the FIBA Asia Cup, which is the Continental Championship that will be held next year. And of course, there are 24 teams that are vying in 3 windows. 16 will go up to the FIBA Asia Cup. The top 2 teams from the 6 groups will advance, plus of course the 4 best third-place teams. So it looks like in this particular group, it will be the Philippines and in Korea. And of course, Thailand and Indonesia will battle for that best third place. They're hoping to book themselves a ticket towards the FIBA Asia Cup. We have won, the last time that we won the FIBA Asia Cup was in 1985. And that was our last championship. We placed 7th in the 2017 edition, and of course we placed runner-up in 2013 and then 2015.
Matagal-tagal na rin yun.
Matagal-tagal na. Nice seal there, but Kobe Paras smarter and quicker to the ball. Chung Yang Pin asking for a foul.
The referee might have missed that, but that's good for us.
So it'll go back to the Philippines. Under 5 minutes to play here. In a game that has been dominated by Gilas Pilipinas. Matt Nieto asking for a screen from Justin Baltazar. Rivals during their collegiate days. Here's Baltazar. Gives it back to Nieto. He goes inside. Finds Suerte from 3-point range. And Ray Suerte banging away from the outside. That amazing play of the quarter is powered by Smart. Experience next level speed with Smart 5G. Doble-doble na to. Lacan gives it to Muang Boon. Oh, fancy pass. And even at this time, you can't do that. We're down by 53.
Yeah, the Gilas team defense is just switching on those ball screens. So they have the confidence for the big guys to be able to guard the smaller guys. And the smaller guys have that confidence to guard the big guys of Thailand. Alam nila, kaya nila, kaya nagsiswitching na lang.
And we'll be back. Dwight Ramos, part of that massive second quarter scoring, 13 points in the first half. Of course, he's one of those that is coming from a program put together by Coach Tab Baldwin, even in the Ateneo. And when you take a look at the Ateneo de Manila Blue Eagles, in this team, they're certainly taking flight and taking the lead here.
Yes, so current and graduated, they have 6 guys, so almost half the team. Really knows the system.
Will Navarro played earlier in the first quarter. He scored a bucket. And of course, Isaac Go also had limited playing time so far. It's been Justin Baltazar really in the center. And now Isaac, every kind of shot here. We've seen a 3-point shot.
That's going to be a big headache for all the opponents of Ateneo from here.
And this is really a big debut for him. People are now beginning to see the quality of player this guy is. As we take a look at Will Navarro. Will Navarro has a very interesting story, actually. He is one of the, I think the only Filipino who ever played in the junior team of Panathinaikos in Athens, Greece. Will Navarro was born and raised in Greece. by OFW parents. There's the foul by Isaac Go.
And if you're going to learn basketball, Greece is one of the best
Yes.
places to learn basketball.
Well, especially if you're gonna use Giannis Antetokounmpo as the basis for that. Sutsin making the free throw. Sutsin so far has been the only one really getting in close to the basket in this game. We haven't seen Jack Rawan getting as many touches. In fact, he's not playing.
He's not playing. Actually, I saw him on the timeout and was just kind of resting, probably resting him for the next game
For
already.
the next game, yes. Again, ang binabanggit po namin si Chatanit Jack Rawan, who is the best player in the domestic league in Thailand. Inside pass. Clipped in the arm by Muang Boon, claiming that it was all ball. May have had a part of the arm. So Muang Boon will pick up his third foul now.
You know, in international basketball, it really counts if you really know how to sell the play.
That's right.
So referees are coming from different parts of the world. They have different interpretations. Of course, FIBA, they have their own referees academy, and of course they're able to discuss all those calls. But there's still going to be a difference between an Asian referee and a European referee and the style of play.
That's right. Well, there's even a difference between a Middle Eastern referee
and a Latin American referee, so there's still going to be differences. So it's up to the player actually to sell the calls.
One thing though that these referees have in common is that they're very strict in terms of complaining. You know, they will not tolerate complaints coming from either the players on the floor or the bench. You know that very well, Coach Jeng.
I know it very well. I cannot be my usual self, in coaching international basketball.
Well, you know, we know Coach Jeng as a very fiery coach on the floor, but when you see him off the court, oh, this is one guy who can really have fun. There's a turnover here by Mike Nieto as he loses the handle of that one. Coach Sachs directing operations, and still a press being employed here by Gilas Pilipinas. They go down low. Chung Yang Pin curling against Navarro, and there's going to be a foul against Will Navarro. Chatpol Chung Yang Pin, one of those young players of the Thai team. As we take a look at the Javi Gomez Diliano checking in for Dwight Ramos. Played very well in this ball game.
Actually, as good as Dwight Ramos played, I don't know if we will still see him in the fourth quarter.
Correct.
Because they still have a game to play on Monday. So he's made his contribution, and I think that's a possibility now that Coach Jong Chico might want to preserve him for that next game.
When you take a look at the background and you see all the coaches and the staff of Gilas Pilipinas, you know, obviously they brought a good delegation here really to keep this team in shape. Oh, a nice shot there from Mike Nieto, stretching the lead of the Philippines. But remember, this is a team that came straight from their own bubble. They have not gone home, and you know this is obviously also part of the sacrifice that Gilas Pilipinas is giving to the country. There's a foul by Isaac Go. Sabi nga sa akin ni Coach Jong, hindi na daw siya magpapatina at saka magpapagupit, pero mukhang itim na uli yung buhok ni Coach Jong eh.
These times I've never heard the mention of bubble so often. No? Lahat na lang ngayon bubble ang pinag-uusapan. Eh.
Correct. And you know, it's not only in sports. It's in entertainment.
Yes.
It's in business. It's in schools.
Everybody's trying to preserve and create their own bubbles.
Correct. Well, these are the signs of the times as Chung Yang Pin will now sit down. Gogar back in the game with less than 2 minutes remaining in the third. Again, we're happy to have you with us, Philippines, for this live and exclusive coverage of Signal TV of the FIBA Asia Cup Qualifiers 2021 from Manama, Bahrain, in a historic bubble where FIBA has finally started basketball once again. There's a whistle underneath. Muang Boon will pick up a foul as Will Navarro tried to post him up. Inbound from the baseline. It'll be done by Javi Gomez de Leaño. One thing about this Gilas team also, Coach, is the size. No, they have very good size and very. These bigs can really move.
Yes, if you look at Justin Baltazar, at Isaac Go, even Carino.
That's right.
These guys are big men who are mobile and very athletic. They're very quick on their feet. Hindi na uso ngayon yung slow big man eh. Pag slow big man ka ngayon, liability ka na.
Outside shot by Matt Nieto, missing that one. Muang Boon getting the rebound on the attack once again. Sidestepping, that's Euro step. Follow up, still nothing there. A second serving, wala pa rin. Finally a rebound by Isaac going a foul against Gogar. Well, Thailand just unable to string up points here and unable to really get any kind of momentum. Gilas Pilipinas continues to apply pressure despite this big lead and only seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Nieto still at the point guard position. He will go baseline and there will be another foul against Thailand. Of course, remember Matt Nieto is one of those that was very instrumental in that very strong showing also in the Jones Cup when they played a few years ago.
Yes, and I've also had the opportunity to have him in practice a couple of times after we drafted him. We drafted him in the last draft from the Gilas draft.
Oh.
And you can see how steady and how smart he is with the ball. So he's really an asset for any team.
That's why you've been taking a very close look at him, Coach Yeng.
Actually, all of them.
Of course, the PBA just finished its bubble. Almost finished its bubble.
Yeah.
And again, congratulations to the two finalists of the Philippine Cup. Of course, that's Talk and Text and Ginebra. It completed the finals matchup. That will happen, of course, on Sunday. That's on Game 1. 2020 PBA Philippine Cup live on TV5, One Sports, and in high definition on PBA Rush. Game 1, TNT Tropang Giga versus Barangay Ginebra Kings.
Before this game, we just saw that fantastic shot by Scotty Thompson from the corner that gave them the win.
After a terrific shot by Hugnatan.
Yes.
That is painful, no, Coach Yeng? I mean, now that you're here.
We thought we were going to see an overtime.
Exactly.
But,
well, definitely there will be no overtime in this game as the Philippines is up by 33 at the moment. Javi loses the ball as it was tapped from behind by Muang Boon, but the referee says he handled that last. So it'll go back to Thailand. You know, one guy that has not scored a bundle here is Langsui. Langsui, Anucha Langsui is a forward, inside-outside player. He's number 19, and he's only 26. He's actually the best shooting forward in the Thai league. He's about 6'6", 6'7", but we have not seen enough of him here today.
Well, the quality of defense also has something to do with that. Playing this national team is playing high quality defense and able to put you off balance, as most of these Thai shooters are right now. And they're also missing Tyler Lam. Tyler Lam
Tyler Lam.
really creates a lot of opportunities for them because he demands a double team and he's able to attract the attention of the defense, and he frees up a lot of guys aside from scoring himself.
Almost the buzzer beater there for the Philippines, but nonetheless, it is a commanding lead for Gilas Pilipinas as we are all but ready to take our first victory in the bubble. The Philippines on top in this at the end of the third quarter, 75-43. FIBA Asia Cup qualifier, the first game between the Philippines and Thailand. Just a reminder, on Monday, November 30, we will have our second game of this FIBA Asia Cup qualifier of the second window. The Philippines, Gilas Pilipinas versus Thailand, live on One Sports and on One Sports Plus with a delayed telecast on TV5 at 11:30 in the evening. Again, Monday po yan, holiday. Yung pong second game back-to-back ng Gilas Pilipinas at ng Thailand. Noli Yala and Coach Yang Giao on the call here as we are just about ready to begin the fourth and final quarter in a game that has been dominated by the young guns of the Philippines, led by this man, Dwight Ramos. Thailand missing badly the production coming from their top players. Both Lang Sui and Jack Rawan have not been able to contribute here. On the other hand, Ray Suerte, together with the shooters from the outside, Juan Gomez de Leaño, Matt Nieto, have been puncturing the hoop as we begin the fourth quarter of action here in Manama, Bahrain. Ball picked up by Gogar.
We still don't see Jack Rawan here.
Wala pa rin, no?
Mukhang talagang ipipreserve na lang muna.
There's another steal by Will Navarro, and he will go all the way to the basket with the left hand. It's flush. That fast break is brought to you by Enerton. May laban o wala, laging handa. Even the defense natin, Coach Yang, you know, it's very impressive, no?
Yes, actually, the energy is still there. Even if they have a big lead, they're not slacking on defense. So I think that's also a mental exercise. You want your players to be able to execute.
Wongsa Wangtham getting a nice three. In the first quarter, Jai Sanuk had 3 triples.
Yes.
And then after that, nawala na. It's only coming back now behind Wongsa Wangtham.
It's kind of too late at this point, but just to give them some confidence for their Monday game again against this Gilas team.
Outside shot by Juan Gomez de Leaño, missing the mark. Here's Muwang Boon. He will try his luck. Short. Rebound picked up by Juan Gomez de Leaño. Forward pass. Philippines playing its sets now, just trying to get better. Trying to pick the spots where they need improvement as we take a look at a shot from Juan Gomez de Leaño that goes awry. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Nets him a foul. Ganda ng timing.
You know, may similarities din yung not just the physical aspect of the bodies, no, the bodies of body type of Justin and si Kemar.
We'll take a break. Just before we went back on air, we heard Coach Jong Chico still, giving instructions, especially about defense, coaching. Those 2 3-point shots of the Thais didn't really please him.
Well, at this point, what you want to do is just take your eyes off the scoreboard and be able to play each possession the way you want to be able to play it. And, ang tinuturo mo, these are young guys.
This is part of the
Oh.
learning of this young team, as we see a huge collision between Juan Gomez de Leaño and I believe that was Chung Yang Pin. And like we said, these are bangers. The Thai team is quite bulky.
Yeah, and they know how to play physical.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I think that was the second time that they did that illegal pick to Juan Gomez de Leaño. I don't know if it's coincidence or they're just looking for him.
Well, he has really given them a lot of problems today. Of course, on the other hand, coaching, Kobe Paras has also not been given, as we take a look at Javi Gomez de Leaño drilling a 3. Kobe Paras has also not seen too much playing time here in the second half. Maybe also part of the rotation and also giving others a chance here to show their wares.
Well, you have a good lead. No, what you want really is to just keep preserving your guys and spread the playing time. Probably avoid some injuries. You just really don't know what can happen. So the fresher they are, the better it is for the team.
We finally see an outside shot from Anucha Langsui, the guy that we've been talking about. He's one of the best shooting forwards in Thailand, and we finally saw him. This is a younger player. He's quite tall. He's about 6'6", 6'7". So again, one of those that they can certainly, or they're trying certainly to develop. Keyhole jumper not falling for them. Gogar with an offensive rebound. Muang Boon with only 6:20 remaining in this basketball game. From Chongya, or rather Wong Sawang Tham.
They're getting some run here, but it's a little too late. But again, as I said, they still have a game with us on Monday. That might give them some confidence going into that game.
That's the very same play that Coach Jong was pointing out. Yung number 10, sabi niya, you gave him 2 shots, and it was the same spot. Lead pass. And back-to-back hits here for Montien Wong Sawang Tham. The 30-year-old shooting guard has cut down the Philippine lead to 24.
Actually, this was what we were talking about. No? Yung third placer might be important for them. What might be important for them is the quotient.
That's right.
If that's going to be Indonesia,
Deficit.
smaller lead.
I'm sure Indonesia is also watching this game very intently. Because, again, at the end of the day, you just want, if you're a team that is just trying to make it to the FIBA Asia Cup, this is what you actually are trying to measure. Missed shot from Gogar. Juan Gomez de Leaño with that patented one-handed layup. That amazing play of the quarter is powered by Smart. Experience next level speed with Smart 5G. Bounce pass, Gogar barrels into a Mike Nieto and an offensive foul here. Or rather, no, just a lost ball. It'll go back to the Philippines. Gogar is a familiar face in Thai basketball. He was also in the 3x3 competition here in the Southeast Asian Games. Carino gives it now to Kobe's back in the game. And Dave Ildefonso committing a turnover.
What Gilas is doing now is just running their plays there. So Coach Jong Chico is probably asking them to take some more passes, 4 or 5 passes, and run some screens and cuts before they take the shot.
Actually, that's very noticeable now, Yang. They're actually not doing a lot of fast break plays. They're trying to set it up. It's really part of the, I guess, the learning, especially that you have very limited time on the court. Here's one of those fast break plays. Matt Nieto gives it to Javi Gomez de Leaño, and that's deflected, and it'll remain with Gilas Pilipinas.
What they're trying to do here now is if they have a clear path to the basket on a transition play, they'll go and attack. But if they do not, they'll just execute their half-court set.
Oh, nice play.
It's a nice back screen there.
Anong tinatawag na knockout? Bong Sawantam has had a hot hand in the fourth quarter, but again, it's too little, too late for the Thais. Another steal from Matt Nieto, and he will go all the way to the hole. So after that lead was trimmed down to 24, the Philippines coming up with a big finishing kick here, and we're back on top by 33. We'll be back for more from Manama, Bahrain. Back here in the second window of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, Noli Yala together with Coach Yeng Jiao for the final moments of this game between Gilas Pilipinas and Thailand. At the moment, the Philippines is way ahead after a close first quarter. The Philippines pulled away in the second with a 32-10 quarter score, and they never looked back. There was a time even lumamang pa ang Thailand, coaching in the first quarter.
Actually, first quarter, I was really worried a little there because I was trying to see when we could get that run and get a good lead. And it happened in the second quarter towards the fourth and fifth minute. And from there, we never looked back. And we were energized by our execution, transition, and then putting up good defense and able to put the percentages of Thais a lot lower than they were in the first quarter.
I remember you mentioned what kind of adjustments they needed to do because Jai Sanuk was hitting the corner jumper, Jack Rawan was curling towards the basket, and they did all of that in the second quarter and more. Kobe rises, misses. Under 3 minutes to go here before the Philippines chalks up its second win in the groups. That's who we've been talking about. Finally showing his stuff here. Anukcha Langsui with a long, deep three. Buti pa doon sa Bahrain, doon sa bubble nila, Coach, may tugtog. Sa PBA bubble, parang wala, no?
Wala ba? Hindi ko maalala. Meron din
Meron ba?
yata. Meron
ba?
yata.
Parang hindi ko na...
Meron.
Pero hindi Star Wars, no?
Hindi Star Wars. Nakatingin kasi kayo dun sa mga ano lang eh.
So, virtual wall.
Virtual audience eh.
Oh.
So there's no virtual audience here. That's why we probably noticed the
music playing
audio, yes.
and everyone else in the Coliseum. We're coming from the Khalifa Sports City. Again, this is the postponed game of the first window where we were supposed to meet this team. And this is just a makeup game. And of course, South Korea pulled out of this bubble. Indonesia was not allowed to play us. And so we are just playing 2 games here in Bahrain. Jump hook from Thailand. That's Chung Yampin missing the mark. And we're down to the final minute and 40 seconds here.
So, a minute and 40 seconds, we noticed that Coach Jong and Coach Tab no longer used sina Dwight Ramos, sina Justin Baltasar, sina Isaac Go. Preferred to rest them, which is a smart move actually.
Well, hindi na rin naman ginamit si Jack Rawan. So
Jack Rawan, hindi na rin ginamit
Coach
ng Thailand.
Tab is just matching up here. Although si Langsui has finally come out and showed his mettle. Here's Kobe, rising, missing. he has struggled offensively here in the second half.
Yes.
He's trying to get his bearings, trying to get his shot, his rhythm. And again, it's lack of play, probably. Here's another guy who needs to get going. Ray Suerte, missing that one. Rebound coming, going to Wong Soang Tam. Here's Lacan, driving all the way to the basket, too strong. Ildefonso pushing it. Dave Ildefonso finally gets his basket here. First 2 points of the game. And so everyone has scored.
Yes, and he actually wanted that so much.
Pwede na.
Ako naman, sabi niya.
Mahirap naman ako yung walang punto sa box score bukas. Magagalit si Danny. Runner from the side. Nothing there. Rebound by Kobe Paras. Only 42 seconds to go in a one-ball game for the Philippines. It was really broken up so early. The Gilas boys, there were so many questions just prior to this game, Coach Yeng. And obviously, we've seen the answers right now.
Yes, I feel better about this team right now. I was really worried about the long layoff, and all of these guys are young, coming into an international tournament. And then I was also worried about how Thailand will play, because I saw them play against Korea, and they were a lot better. And they're a lot better with Tyler Lam. But again, it's our defense, it's the way we executed our offense. Also, it's the energy that we put in. So those things really count.
Another steal here by Gilas Pilipinas, but they will not shoot this one. Again, so many questions before this game. Can this young crew deliver in the big stage? Well, they have answered it. The Philippines will win Game 1 in this second window of the FIBA Asia Cup Qualifiers 2021 versus Thailand, 93-61 in a game dominated by good defense and terrific teamwork shown by this young crew, Coach Yeng.
Yes, and it's a relaxed ball game for us. You know, we knew from the second quarter that we can take on Thailand and probably take on them again on Monday.
Right.
But it might be a harder game for us on Monday.
Well, obviously the Thais now know what they're up against. A mystery no longer, and the young guns of Gilas Pilipinas finally showing what Philippine basketball is all about. It's not only about the pros, it's all about the program, and definitely the Philippines showing that they are still one of the best, if not the best, in this region. You know, again, on Monday, Coach Yeng, as we take a look at some of the numbers here, we take a look at the percentages. The Philippines is completely dominating it, shooting very well. Thailand shot 10 out of 28 from three-point range.
Yes, 60% from 2 points. That's incredible percentage for us. And the good thing is all of the players are well rested. All of the players are able to get their rhythm from this game. Coach Jong Yuchiko coaching for the first time in a long time, so that should also be good for him. And they knew that the work they put